What up, hot doggers? I am stuck at a train. I'm working, delivering the carts downtown, running back and forth between the garage to the carts to make sure everybody's got what they need. And I'm stuck at a train. It's 11:26. I'm stuck at a train. It's 11:26 p.m. I got less than 40 minutes to record this and get it put up. So here we go. What am I talking about tonight? I'm going to tell you how I manage multiple carts, how I run multiple carts. So this is just what I do. Usually I have a manager doing what I'm doing tonight. I don't have a manager right now. It's just me. So I'm actually doing my manager's, what I would normally have my manager do. The manager's job. The manager's job there's different levels to this, right? So there's me as an owner. Under me, there's a manager. And then under the manager is vendors. One vendor for each cart. Here in my city, we're required to have 2 people operating every cart. Every cart has to be operated by 2 people. There should never be a time when the cart's left alone. However, in my city, because I have a manager as a backup for each cart, they qualify that as having 2 people running each cart. So I've got a drifter that goes from cart to cart whenever the others have to leave, whenever a vendor has to leave to go use the bathroom or take a break or whatever. The manager will step in and run that cart until they get back. So I do have 2 people by law running each cart, running every cart, to run every cart. So that keeps me legal in that arena. By having this set up, I'm staying legal in that arena. So following the laws, every 2 people to run a cart. Carts never get left, I guess, what's the word? Unoccupied. So, me, manager, vendors. Now, what do? I, as an owner, do inventory. I, as an owner, order inventory. I'm in charge of the money. I make sure that every vendor has a bag. I don't have one on me. But every vendor has a money bag, like you can get at the bank. In that money bag, they've got their own cell phone. Yes, I do have a company cell phone account with T-Mobile. Every cart has its own cell phone to run credit cards. Every cart has its own square connected to that cell phone, to that specific cell phone, so they can run credit cards. And also in that bag, if they're in an enclosed cart, that bag is also going to contain their keys, the keys to their cart, so they can lock it up should they have to leave for an emergency and I'm not there, or the manager's can't get there in time, or whatever reason they have to lock or unlock the door. The key is going to be in that bag. And also in that bag is going to be their change for the night, which is going to be all singles generally. Sometimes it's singles and fives. Usually I leave all singles in this. I put all singles in this bag. We start out with 20 to 30 singles. Just depends on the time of year, what's going on. If there's events that weekend, if I'm expecting a big crowd, I might put 40 or 50. I used to start everybody out at 50 no matter what, but as I started getting more carts, it just didn't make sense. I started tracking the business more, tracking how much business they were doing, and it got to the point where I didn't need to keep giving them 50. So right now, like tonight, I'm only giving them 20. It's cold. There's still snow. We have a cheerleading competition, but cheerleaders are skinny and healthy. They're not out eating hot dogs. And generally, I mean, let's like, they're all underage. They're not going to the nightlife. They're not going to the bars tonight. It's going to be the moms. It's going to be the chaperones, the dads, the families, the older sisters, older siblings, families who come to support. It's going to be those type of people, and there's really not that many people here in town for this cheerleading competition anyway. So needless to say, there's not a lot going on tonight or this weekend in general. So we're only doing $20 banks tonight. So each bag is going to have $20 worth of singles in it, and that'll give them a start for cash in case I need to change somebody out. So everybody gets a bag. I put the phone, the square, the keys, the cash in a money bag. Every vendor gets a bag. Every vendor gets. I load up. I as the manager load up the carts. Well, let me reverse it back. I'm getting a little off track here, so let me reverse it back. As the owner, I do inventory. I track the money. I make sure that their cell phone bills are paid. Obviously, cell phones are and squares. If anything goes out of whack, I got to go to the store and I'll have to go to T-Mobile and get a replacement phone, or I have to go buy a new square because the square got wet. It rained last weekend, the square got wet, and it doesn't work now. Whatever the case may be, that's what I do as the owner. If it involves money, if it involves inventory, buying, ordering inventory, including propane. I have to go get propane. I'm going to get propane now. Sometimes, now the manager, I would usually give the manager a business card, a business credit, or a business bank card. Manager would go get propane. Manager would use it to fill up the truck. The truck that I'm driving is a business truck to, haul the carts back and forth. So the manager that I had would fill up the truck, use the card to fill up the truck. She would get propane if needed. There were a couple of times where I had her take the company card when it was really cold and the vendors were out. I had her take the card and go get them some coffee, get coffee from the gas station, take it to the vendors. Back when it was really, really cold, I had her do that a couple times. So my manager does have a card that does have access to the money, but she also has to turn in a receipt. So it's not like she can go, just take my card to the mall, and that card, she gets a bag too. So that card stays with me. She leaves it with me when she's not working. So anywho, that's, as an owner, inventory and money. That's me. That's what I do. As a manager, managers help out with money and inventory in certain aspects. But the manager is the one that connects everything. They're gonna come in. They're gonna come into the garage. They're gonna load up all the carts with everything they need. I do inventory every Tuesday, so I get inventory, delivered every week. And by the time the manager comes in on Thursday, all the inventory is there, all the new food is there, all the fresh food, and everything we're going to sell out of that weekend, it's all there waiting on her. So when she comes in, she's going to put the food, usually she'll put the food up. Everything gets delivered right before she gets here. So she'll put the food up, she'll take the food, put dogs in the freezer, put all the food on the shelves, and she'll start loading up the carts. So the carts are going to get loaded with 1 pack of regular dogs, 1 pack of jumbo dogs, and 1 pack of brats. That's what we're doing right now. And then they also have walking tacos, 2 cases of walking tacos, and a box of small chips. Of course, you got your toppings, your chili, nacho cheese, ketchup, mustard, blah, 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 blah. She's going to load up all the carts. She's going to hook the carts up and deliver them one at a time, which is not what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing tonight. I'm delivering and picking them up. Once she gets all the carts delivered, she delivers the first cart at 9, second cart at 10, third cart at 11. Sometimes we might do 8, 9, and 10. Just depends on if there's something going on. We get an early start, make a little extra money. Just depends. But for the most part, it's 9, 10, and 11 p.m. is when we start. We go until 3, 4, and 5 p.m. or 3, 4, and 5 a.m. Is when we pick up the carts. So when we pick up, we do the opposite. We'll pick up the carts one at a time, bring them back to the garage one at a time. unload. Once we get them all back at the garage, the manager unloads all of the food, puts it all back in the freezer, on the shelves, whatever the case may be. Puts all of the food wherever it goes. Counts inventory, does counts and makes sure that everything that went out, if anything that's missing was actually sold and not given away. And then wake up the next day, and do it all over again. So that's pretty much. I mean, it's a really simple concept. The vendors, they show up. Each vendor has an assigned set of pans for their cart, because every cart, though you may be able to use the same set of pans across all the carts. Some carts require different pans, different types of pans, different sizes of pans. So every vendor gets used to working their cart. They're trained on their cart. They're assigned their own set of pans that they take home. They wash the pans. They keep the pans clean. It's all 100% up to the vendors on their pans. So they bring their own pans in. They are responsible for keeping the carts clean, cleaning off their grills if they use it. Every cart has its own grill scraper, so they're going to scrape off the grills. The vendors are responsible for their cart. It is their cart. They're responsible for keeping it clean. They're responsible for making sure it is stocked with everything it's supposed to be stocked with. Every cart has a list on it of everything that the city and the health department requires. So every cart has a list on it that lets the vendors know this is what you should have. If you don't have it, let your manager know, and we'll get it on your cart for you. It's things such as your chlorine strips, your cleaning supplies, your anything and everything that's supposed to be you're supposed to have is listed on this list for every cart. And it's the vendor's responsibility to make sure that the cart is stocked with it. If they run out of dish soap, for example, it's their responsibility to make sure they let their manager know so that the manager can get more dish soap for them. So, vendors keep track of the carts, manager keeps track of the vendors, and I, as the owner, keep track of inventory. That's basically how it works. I hope it wasn't too confusing. It's really a simple setup the way I run things. It's not too complicated. I use Square to run credit cards because Square and their analytics are insane. I haven't found another credit card, which if you know of a credit card provider that is mobile and I can run from the cell phones, that has amazing analytics, let me know, because I'm looking for a new one. I'm not a huge fan of Square. The only reason I use them is because of the analytics and the data that they keep. They just keep fantastic data, fantastic, analytics. So if you know of another one other than Square, then feel free to let me know and I'll look into it. Other than that, I use Square. Square's analytics are great. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. That's all I've got for you. I wanted to kind of give you guys a rundown. I'm going to get back to doing some live carts. I'm still at this train, man. This train's been here for a hot minute. 15 minutes I've been on this video. I'm gonna have to turn around, go another way. But if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. You know what to do. Dogfathergear.com. Support the channel. I'm trying to help you guys out, give you guys as much information as possible. If you can help me out, support me, support my channel, keep me going, give me some motivation to keep getting on here every day. Other than that, I will see you guys on tomorrow's episode. Holla.